Hey guys, welcome to Ask My Definition. In this particular episode, we are going to talk about class 9th CBSE NCERT Science chapter number 2 of chemistry component for the term 1 syllabus of 2021 and 22, which we brought up already a podcast series, and this is the part 2 component of the same about is matter and as pure. In the previous session, we learnt about pure substances and mixtures and much in detail about them. And you are listening to Mr. Amaresh at PGT in Chemistry. In this particular episode, we are going to look forward to understand what are solution, components present in solution, characteristics of the solution, and some of the examples we are going to take up about the solution and the terms which are associated with concentration of the solution in detail. And we are also going to focus mainly on some examination points because now multiple choice questions are going to come up for your exam. Now let us understand water solution, which are homogeneous mixture and cannot be separated through filtration process, and they are clear and transparent because of which they just allow the light to pass by, due to which they do not show Tyndall effect. Then what are the components of this solution? It has got namely two components, solute and solvent. When depending on the number of components, we can call them as binary, tertiary or quaternary type of solutions. In particularly, remember, any solution there can be only one solvent which will be possible, and number of solute can be different. It can have varied number of solute. Now let us understand what are solute component. Those substances which are present in lesser quantity in the solution and get dissolved into the solvent. They can exist in either solid, liquid or gaseous physical state, and depending on this, we can now go for understanding what are solvent substances. Those which are having maximum quantity in the solution and can make the solute to get dissolved into them, they are solvents. And depending on the nature or physical state of them, we can divide the solutions also into three broad category. One is a solid solution, where solvent is solid, solute can be liquid, gas or solid. Example alloys like brass, bronze, steel, etc. And amalgam, mercury in sodium, mercury in magnesium, etc. And hydrogen gas in palladium for transportation, etc. And similarly, we can also have liquid solution where solvent will be acting as liquid, and solute can be either solid, liquid or gases. Sugar solution, tincture of iodine, that is iodine solid in alcohol, alcohol in water, that's liquid in liquid, oxygen in water or carbonated water, that is carbon dioxide water, or cold drinks what we generally drink, they are all liquid solutions. And gaseous solution, where solvent will be gas, solute can be either three physical state. Camphor in air, dust in air, or humidity, the moisture present in the air, or air itself, nitrogen gas of 78% connected with oxygen gas of 21% and other gases mixed together. They are all actually the homogeneous mixtures like gaseous solution only. Now taking the differences between dissolution and solubility, because generally we are going to come across these two terms. Dissolution is actually nothing but the process of solute getting dissolved into the solvent, and it is a qualitative component actually. And solubility, it's the amount of solute present in given amount of solvent, and it is a quantitative component. Solubility can be even mathematically calculated by the formula weight of solute in saturated solution by weight of solvent in saturated solution multiplied by 100. You can note down this formula, it's very important for your exam and NTSC type of examinations. And let us understand what are the factors which influences on solubility. There are three factors mainly we can mention: temperature, pressure and nature of solute and solvent in particularly. And in this session we are going to discuss mainly on the effect on solubility of solid in liquid and gases in liquid. First one, solid in liquid. Temperature increases, the solubility actually increases in this case, because intermolecular space becomes more, the kinetic energy of the particle also becomes more, so more amount of solid can be dissolved now. And pressure usually does not have any effect. Ionic solid actually generally dissolve more faster than covalent. As you know, ionic solids are dissociating faster in the solvent. Let us take the second component, solubility of gas in liquid. Here, as the temperature increases, the solubility of gas in liquid decreases. As you know, the kinetic energy of the gaseous particle is already high, and increasing temperature actually increases more, and there will be no solubility. And as the pressure increases, actually the solubility increases in the gases in liquid. Now, depending on the ability of solvent to dissolve solute at the given temperature, we can divide the solutions into further three different categories. We are going to look forward for what are the three different categories in detail. They are like a saturated solution, unsaturated solution, and supersaturated type of solution. Let us take the first one, saturated solution. Those solution in which no more solute can be dissolved into the given solvent, they are actually called as saturated at the temperature which is rated. And maximum solubility of solution is attained in particular solution, due to which we cannot add extra amount of solute to the given volume of solvent. Now let us understand, for example, if 8 gram of salt can dissolve in 100 ml of water, that is the maximum capacity of water which can hold. If you add 9 gram, it will not dissolve. That is called as this thing, unsaturated. Now in the unsaturated, what happens, we can add extra amount of solute into the given solvent at the temperature which is noted already. And here there will be space which will be available in the solvent where we can add extra amount of solute. Similarly, we have third type of solution which is called a supersaturated solution. Under certain condition only we apply this case, where solution may contain more solute than the saturation level at the temperature. And here the extra amount of solute can be separated by a process called as crystallization. This is again important for your exam point of view. And now let us differentiate between concentrated and dilute solution. Between any two solution, one which has larger proportion is called as concentrated, which has lesser proportion is called as dilute solution. And for example, if 10 ml of acid is there in 100 ml of water, and in other case 8 ml in 100 ml of water, 10 ml will be concentrated, 8 ml will be dilute. Let us now understand what are aqueous and non-aqueous solution. A solution in which water acts as a solvent are generally called as aqueous solution, and in which any other liquid other than the water is acting as a solvent, they are called as non-aqueous solution. By this, we are much clear about the different terminology what is associated with the solutions. Let us now understand what are concentration of solution, and it is actually generally defined as amount of solute present in given amount of solvent. It's a relative term, as we already learned, and can be compared between any two particular solution and explained for what it is and how it can be calculated for. And to calculate concentration of solution, we have different ways of measuring it. Some of them are listed below. Mass percentage, volume percentage, mass by volume percentage, parts per million, molarity, molality, mole fraction, and normality in particularly. And for class 9 standard CBSE, we are going to mainly focus on the first three components, and the rest of them will be learnt and dealt with you all people in your higher classes when you take up science and chemistry component in 11th and 12th. Much in detail about the numerical questions on concentration of solution, especially on mass percentage, volume percentage, and mass by volume percentage, namely W by W, W by V, V by V. We are going to take up in our next session. And also we will look forward for colloids and suspensions also. And now let us understand what are these characteristics of solutions in detail. So there are some points which you need to remember for your examination point of view. By this, we have understood what is concentration and calculation of it. Last part of this session, that is characteristics of solution. After knowing all the things associated with solution, we just arrived to the conclusion that solutions are homogeneous and have got two components, solute and solvent, and never scatters the light, and no Tyndall effect observed, and particle size is very small, 1 nanometer and less than that, due to which we cannot even observe them through the normal microscope also, and cannot be separated through filtration process. They just pass the particles through filter paper and animal membrane also. And by this we have learned that what are solutions, classification of solution, physical state of solvent, dissolution with temperature, solubility affecting factors, etc. And also example associated with solution and concentration of the solution, calculation of it, and lastly the characteristics of solution in detail we have learned. And the next thing is what we are going to do it for the next session. In the next episode of this particular chapter, we will have brief introduction on colloids and suspension, also calculation on concentration. And thank you for your association with Ask My Definition, and keep connected to our channel, subscribe and share with your friends. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.